are bright. 5 little pixies played all night. They sat beneath the glowing moon and sang a silly pixie tune. They played a game of truth or dare with joyful laughter in the air. But games can take a turn for bad and leave the players feeling sad. The dice were rolled, the choice was made. Within the deep and dark green glade, poor Pixi Pod was given a dare to give the local witch a scare. Go into Witch Poxlox's cave and show us all that you are brave. He did not want to look afraid, so toward the creepy rocks he strayed. The cave was dark, the cave was cold, but Pixi Pod was far from bold. He took a step into the gloom and walked right into heavy doom. For Witch Poxlox was wide awake, preparing dinner by the lake. She grabbed the pixie by his hair and threw him in the cauldron there. The water started getting hot inside that big old iron pot. She added carrots, peas, and spice and whispered, "Pixie soup is nice." He bubbled up and began to cry, "Oh, save me now, I do not want to die." He was slowly cooking in the stew and didn't know quite what to do. Back outside, the other 4 stood shaking by the cavern door. They heard his screams, they heard his cries, with tears of terror in their eyes. One pixie grabbed a telephone and dialed with a trembling groan. They called a man of great renown, the bravest hero in the town. They called up good Sir Mike the Bold, whose deeds were famous, so I'm told. He lived at Mike Bike Hall, so grand, the finest house in all the land. The telephone began to ring. Sir Mike jumped up and left his thing. He listened to the pixie's plight and said, "I'll save his life tonight." Sir Mike ran out into the yard where entry was completely barred. But there it stood, his shiny pride, the finest bike he'd ever ride. He jumped upon his chopper bike, the kind of wheels that heroes like. He pedaled fast, he pedaled strong, and sped the muddy paths along. The chopper wheels began to spin as brave Sir Mike prepared to win. He raced past trees and over hills with lots of jumps and exciting thrills. The handlebars were high and wide as through the forest he did glide. He reached the cave in record time, determined to stop this wicked crime. He crashed right through the cavern door and skidded on the rocky floor. The chopper bike stood bright and tall, reflecting shadows on the wall. "Stop right there," Sir Mike did shout, "it's time to turn this pod about." Witch Poxlox gasped and dropped her spoon beneath the shadows of the trusty blade and showed the witch he wasn't afraid. He tipped the heavy cauldron down and spilled the soup upon the ground. Out tumbled Pixi Pod, quite wet, but safe and sound, you can bet. The witch flew off upon her broom and vanished from the smoky room. The 5 little pixies cheered with joy, for Mike was such a splendid boy. He saved the day upon his ride, with brave adventure by his side. They walked back home to Mike Bike Hall, the greatest heroes of